On Ticker, this is Import Export with Lawrence Christophels.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Import Export here on Ticker TV. So welcome back, Megan Edwards from M-Words.
Thank you.
Again, touch base on what's your advice now for people scrambling to not only establish a LinkedIn profile, but make it up-to-date, current and relevant. How do you go about doing that now in this platform?
I think it's like anything, you've got to start where you are.
Yep.
And it's not too late.
Yep.
But you do have to act now. It's not something that you can worry about your ego or what people are going to think. You just have to jump in, put your best foot forward like you would if you were doing any other form of marketing.
Because that's the thing, a lot of people are used to networking. So, you know, they're part of associations, part of community groups, clubs, business situations where they'll regularly get to meet people through networking events. And even that can be a challenge, but now none of those exist. So there's no opportunity for them to not only meet new business contacts, but also how do they put their message out there? It's part of a marketing strategy. So LinkedIn is so critical now to have that sort of presence because it is almost that only networking place that we can go to in many ways.
It is, and I think that what people don't acknowledge enough is that even though a lot of people have gone off their normal routine, there are a lot more people watching.
That's right. Yep.
And a lot fewer engaging, but a lot more watching.
Yep.
And so if you are not seen to be still chipping away, being seen and doing what you do, then it's having an even bigger impact and you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, that's right. You get lost in the whole. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was interesting because Albert, who was on before, just mentioned that as well. He's increased his marketing efforts and spend because he wants to be that champion to the people who are struggling and make sure it comes out of that and the other end. And it's the same with the personal profile, personal brand. You know, you want to be out there more than ever now because people want to hear advice, they want information. It's got to be, you know, useful tips. So what are the type of things, Megan, that if I'm going to post stuff, should I be posting stuff about me or should I be posting things that are helpful and beneficial, sort of helpful things? So
yes. No. Like I think first and foremost, it's not so much about just show up with passion anymore. Yeah. It's show up passion with compassion.
Okay, right.
And you can't just hammer away at the things you would normally. You do have to reframe it. Yeah. And be respectful of the fact that even though you might have a great mindset and feel positive, or be in an industry that can pivot very easily, not everybody's in that situation. And as I said before, not necessarily everybody will tell you what they're thinking, but I think there's a lot of opportunity for almost any kind of consulting, particularly any kind of niche expertise, to simply show up and provide education.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you, Megan, because I'm seeing a lot of it coming through my profile, a lot of contacts and messages, because so many people unfortunately have been put out of work, and there's a whole range of new unemployment. So those people now are jumping on LinkedIn because that's essentially the online resume now. So there's no real, in the old days you'd open the Age, you go through a Saturday and you'd look for a job type thing. Then there was the whole recruitment process, which is still there, but no one even considers a candidate until you look at their LinkedIn profile. So that's another important factor because if you're looking for a new role or looking to pivot into a new industry sector, if you don't have a current, relevant and powerful profile, then you could be missing out on a great opportunity from a recruitment perspective as well.
You're missing out, and it's not just about looking and sounding good. The algorithm picks up on the fact that you're not active. It picks up on the fact that you maybe aren't keyword relevant. And so you won't appear as high in the search results. You know, there's pure technical reasons that you're going to miss out. But the other thing is that even if you're not employed at the moment, you still have knowledge to share. And people need to see you consistently having an opinion, even if you support other people's content who are still employed.
That's right.
Just to remain relevant and engaged in the conversation.
Yeah, it's really true. And I know that today's only a small, tidbit about some advice and hints. When we did our workshop early in the year, we had amazing feedback around the the volume of information and techniques like the algorithms and not tips and tricks, I wouldn't call them tricks, it's knowledge and know-how, how to actually get the best out of your profile. So I know you've pivoted yourself, you used to do so many physical events out there in the marketplace, and you've pivoted to online webinars. Can you tell us about what's coming up for M-Words and Megan Edwards?
Sure. No, look, there's a couple of things, and it's been really insightful because I've had a lot more Zoom conversations.
Yep.
And people are opening up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you are in a confidential environment like that, I think the screen gives you a degree of...
That's interesting, yeah, it's a really good feedback, yeah.
Yeah, security in what you can say.
Yeah.
But people have opened up about the need for help around content particularly.
Yeah.
You're telling me to write, what do I write
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
And so that has spawned a new, a new piece of training there that I'll roll out pretty soon.
Yeah.
But I'm doing lots of free seminars, just to introduce people to the idea of writing content, to introduce them to the idea of LinkedIn or how they can pivot with their existing profile. So some of those are little 1 hour bursts.
Great.
Some of them are 4 hour sessions,
Yep.
where it's a bit more intensive and we actually do it as a paid workshop.
Well, that's what I love about what you're offering, Megan, because it's not just the LinkedIn, the technical side, and that platform itself, but because you're coming from a communications background, a copywriting background, you're leveraging the technology of the platform, and then you're actually helping them, really mould a strong, I can't say strong, communication strategy, which is really powerful. So that it really makes you stand out from all these other LinkedIn advisors and experts, because you've got the communication skill set as well as the platform skill set. So it's a really good mix.
It's been really valuable, and I think it creates longevity.
Yeah.
The tool will change. LinkedIn is just today's tool.
Yeah, and the algorithms are changing all the time.
The algorithm will keep changing as much as people hate the thought of that.
Yeah.
But the principles of marketing communications are the same.
Yeah.
And it's just been heightened now in the climate, but also because of technology, we have the option to be more face-to-face, even if it is on a screen.
Yeah.
So we have to just tap into the tool and keep applying the same principles.
Great. So how do the viewers get to keep track of what's going up with you? So you've got a whole range of things I think you're launching from May, next week, as of next week?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so the best place to find me is on LinkedIn, obviously.
Yep.
Because I do show up there pretty consistently each day and share things, but the website as well.
Yep, so mwords.com.au.
Yes.
Yep.
So all the dates there for May are up already.
Yep.
And I've decided to just do something a little bit different. So it'll be a half day session instead of a full day. I don't think anybody could stretch to a full day online. And there's an option to do it morning or evening, even a weekend thrown in there, just to give people some flexibility.
Because as another idea, again, building corporate culture for people who are losing that ability to connect and they want to give back to their employees or keep their employees motivated and up, spirits up. Maybe even as a company want to say, look, I'll send 3 or 4 of you to one of your online workshops. And that way, as a cluster, they can all learn in a team environment.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
Because often that is the struggle when a marketing manager or a director goes back to the team and says, hey, I've got this great knowledge, let's do something.
Yeah.
People are struggling to see why.
Yeah. And as well as you get lost in translations, if I've gone to one of your events, always great advice. It's like the Chinese whispers. By the time it gets down to the third or fourth person, it's a totally different message to what you said, from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So it's important I think there's a great opportunity while people are working remotely. You've got the opportunity to be on the platform, dial into a webinar, but they can do it as a group, as a team.
Absolutely. And I think that serves them better, not just from getting everybody on the same page, but the fact that I can then tailor it to their specific need. Because everybody has different levels of knowledge, their industries are different, and everybody's experiencing the platform in a slightly different way.
That's right. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Megan, for coming back on the show. Definitely want to recommend to everyone out there, get onto mwords.com.au. LinkedIn is such a powerful and important platform.